a girl group built by Netflix, a boy group sabotaged before their debut, and one rookie so explosive, they broke records before fans even learned their names. This is 2025, and the rookie scene isn't just crowded, it's cutthroat. These aren't just idol groups, they're global storms in the making. Some are industry plants, some are underground rebellions, and all of them are fighting for one thing: survival in the post-4th gen battlefield. If you think K-pop was intense before, buckle up. This is the new wave. Subscribe, comment, and like if you're ready for the truth behind the spotlight. Welcome to NM60 K-pop. It wasn't a debut, it was a media event. When KATSEYE first hit the timeline, they didn't arrive like your typical K-pop rookies. No slow rollout, no teaser silhouettes. They came backed by Netflix, Geffen Records, and HYBE. From the start, something felt staged. 6 girls, 6 countries, one global experiment. In 2025, K-pop is already international, but this felt different. KATSEYE wasn't born in Seoul's trainee halls. They were built in front of Netflix cameras through the debut Dream Academy, a Western-styled reality show that played more like a docuseries than a survival program. Their debut EP, SIS Soft is Strong, wasn't just music. It was a manifesto. Feminism, identity, Gen Z empowerment. It was beautiful, calculated, and to some fans, hollow. The backlash hit fast. They're influencers, not idols. This isn't K-pop, it's Spotify core. Where are the Korean promos? Forums lit up, posts trended, one headline nailed the sentiment: KATSEYE is everything wrong with post-HYBE K-pop. But here's the plot twist. It worked. Hate turned into attention, TikTok edits blew up, fan cams hit millions. Major magazines lined up to praise them. Daniela, Lara, Manon, Megan, Sophia, and Yoonchae became global icons before they stepped on a Korean music show. But inside the group, rumors stirred, claims of vote manipulation, favoritism towards Sophia, and criticism that Yoonchae was added last minute for legitimacy. The debut hadn't even dropped, and already fan bases were divided. Then it came. SIS dropped, and the numbers exploded. Spotify, YouTube, press coverage from LA to Paris. But in Korea? Silence. The community stayed skeptical, calling HYBE's experiment a cultural sellout. Others claimed KATSEYE wasn't a threat, they were a prophecy. One thing is clear, KATSEYE wasn't introduced to the industry, they were injected into it. Some see them as saviors, some as symptoms. But love them or hate them, KATSEYE is here, and they're forcing K-pop to evolve, or collapse. From the first moment BABYMONSTER stood under the lights, it was clear, this wasn't a debut, it was a declaration. Polished, powerful, and already terrifyingly in sync, they didn't just announce themselves, they reminded the world that YG doesn't create idols. They create icons. 7 members, 7 weapons. Every look, every move screamed legacy. But not imitation, evolution. Yes, they were born in Blackpink's world, but they weren't chasing it, they were upgrading it. Still, the silence was deafening. Not theirs, Blackpink's. While the world waits for their grand return, something about this comeback feels different. Emotional, quiet, maybe even final. If you want to know why we believe Blackpink's next chapter might be their silent goodbye, click up here. We broke it all down on NM60 K-pop. And now, the spotlight shifts. BABYMONSTER isn't here to repeat history, they're here to change it. But change comes with pain. Before their debut, the lineup shifted. Ayeon vanished, returned, vanished again. Official statements said health, but fans knew better. This wasn't just a scheduling issue, it was a signal that behind the perfect visuals, something raw and real was pulsing beneath. And that's what makes them magnetic. Haram doesn't sing, she stuns. Chiquita doesn't dance, she devours the stage. Farita, Rami, Rora, Asa, each one a blade, sharpened in silence. They didn't beg for love, they demanded respect. And now, they've earned it. Critics who once called them a marketing stunt are now calling them the future, not because of numbers, because of presence, of hunger, of the way they own the silence between the beats. BABYMONSTER didn't need to scream to be heard. They whispered, and the industry leaned in. They're not a second version of anyone. They are the first of something new. And if this is what they're capable of before their first comeback, imagine what happens when they finally go all in. This isn't just a rookie group with potential, this is a fuse already lit. And when it explodes, it won't just change YG, it could change the direction of the entire fifth generation. When Yoona and Wonhee stood side by side in the final moments of Are You Next?, no one could have guessed how fast things would move. Months later, they weren't just finalists, they were frontliners of HYBE's newest girl group, ILLIT. Alongside Minju, Mocha, and Iroha, they debuted not as underdogs, but as symbols. Symbols of HYBE's post-New Jeans strategy, symbols of a softer, surreal Y2K revival, and maybe, unintentionally, symbols of how fast the K-pop machine moves now. Their debut track, Magnetic, hit like a perfume ad turned chart monster. It was light, synthy, playful, but the numbers were deadly serious. Billboard Hot 100, UK official singles chart, first week records. The kind of metrics that used to take years now came in weeks. And yet, underneath the sparkle, not everything was polished. Critics circled quickly. Was ILLIT too rushed? Had they trained long enough? Were they truly ready? Or just handpicked for virality? The spotlight zeroed in on Wonhee, a center who didn't dance with force, but with feeling. Awkward at times, vulnerable, real. And that realness, that rough edge, is what made fans either fiercely protective or sharply critical. Yoona, on the other hand, felt like lightning, a natural. Her vocals clean, her aura sharp. Paired with Minju's calm, Mocha's charm, and Iroha's cool intensity, the group felt experimental. Not just in style, but in structure. No clear hierarchy, no guaranteed ace. Just 5 pieces still figuring out how to click. But maybe that's what made it fascinating. Unlike New Jeans, who arrived fully formed, ILLIT feels like something still blooming in public. A work in progress that isn't afraid to show its flaws, and in 2025, that might be their biggest strength. In a world of precision, perfection, and performance overload, ILLIT dares to be a little messy, a little unguarded, a little more like real people trying to survive a dream they barely had time to prepare for. If you've made it this far, maybe this story resonated with you more than you thought. So go ahead, tap like, drop a comment, and keep riding with us. We tell the stories others scroll past. This is NM60 K-pop. BOYNEXTDOOR didn't debut with a bang. They debuted with a smirk. From their very first MV, they felt like a group that knew something the rest of the industry didn't. Laid back, cheeky, almost rebellious in their refusal to be dramatic, they played with convention from day one. No dark concepts, no over-the-top angst, just 6 boys in baggy clothes singing about awkward texts, hallway glances, and the kind of heartbreak that feels real at 2 a.m. But make no mistake, this wasn't just vibes, it was strategy. Chaos Entertainment, led by Zico, didn't want to follow the 4th gen playbook. They wanted to tear it up and write a new one. And BOYNEXTDOOR, Jaehyun, Sungho, Taesan, Riwoo, Leehan, Woonhak became the authors of a new kind of boy group identity. One rooted in realness, no forced masculinity, no edgy concept fatigue, just storytelling, melody, and a little chaos. What they lacked in theatricality, they made up for in connection. And it worked. But I Like You hit millions fast. One and Only landed harder than anyone expected. Their styling, retro, their dancing, understated. But the emotions, sharp, and their fans didn't just watch, they related. Because BOYNEXTDOOR didn't feel like idols. They felt like classmates, like crushes, like friends you secretly wished would text back. Maybe that's why every fan cam, every behind-the-scenes clip, every tiny moment goes viral, because they feel unscripted, even if every frame is carefully curated. And that's the genius of it all. This group isn't unpolished, they're just playing polished to look unpolished. And in an era of hyper-editing, that's power. What do you think? Are they the most underrated rookies of this class? Or are they already rewriting what it means to be a boy group? Drop a comment. We actually read them. You already know, NM60 K-pop doesn't just talk charts, we talk stories. And BOYNEXTDOOR has one of the most quietly brilliant ones of 2025, because now the vibes are evolving. With their latest project, 1999, something's shifted. The tone's a little darker, the visuals tighter, the lyrics more layered. The boys next door are growing up. Still cheeky, still approachable, but sharper now, hungrier, still telling stories, but maybe starting to rewrite their own. The heartbreak's real, the timing's perfect, and the question isn't whether they'll last. it's how much of the industry they'll change along the way. There's a reason DXMON doesn't feel like anyone else. From their very first performance, it was clear this group was crafted to move differently. While other rookies chased trends, DXMON built a world, not just with visuals, but with atmosphere, with choreography that feels like it belongs on a movie set, with music that doesn't just play, it surrounds you. Under SSQ Entertainment, DXMON launched with a concept that refused to explain itself. No spoilers, no step-by-step introductions, just impact. Their debut track, Burn Up, didn't scream for attention. It earned it. The beat hit hard, the vocals cut through, and the choreography felt designed for something more than TikTok virality. It was theatrical, intentional, and suddenly everyone wanted to know, who are these guys? Jaemin, Minjae, Donguk, Seita, TK, Rex, each one different energy, different strengths, but together something clicked. Not chaos, chemistry. There's a confidence in their silence, a precision in their presence. And while their concept leans into mystery, their message is crystal clear. DXMON isn't trying to be cool, they just are. Somewhere between performance art and idol group, they found a rhythm that feels new but familiar in the way good stories always are. The fanbase grew fast, not just because of visuals, but because of curiosity. Every comeback reveals a little more. Every stage tells a different part of the story. And fans? They're not just watching, they're piecing it together. It's that deeper connection, that feeling of discovery, that makes them stand out. What about you? Are you watching DXMON for the aesthetics, the lore, the vocals, or all of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. At NM60 Kpop, we don't just celebrate what's viral, we spotlight what's visionary. And DXMON, whether you're in their world yet or not, is building something bigger than a trend. They don't rush, they don't overexpose, they just deliver. Comeback after comeback, stronger every time. It's not about being the loudest group in the room. It's about being the one you can't stop thinking about when the lights go out. That's DXMON. And this is just the beginning. What we're watching isn't just a shift, it's a generational fracture, a beautiful, chaotic, competitive rebirth. And somewhere in this mix, your next bias, your next obsession, your next legend is just getting started. So tell us, who's got you hooked? Who's rising too fast to ignore? Drop your take in the comments. If you made it this far, hit like to let us know you ride with real stories, not recycled press releases. And if you want more deep dives just like this one, subscribe to NM60 Kpop. We're not just covering comebacks, we're documenting history in real time. This was the rookie wave of 2025. The only question left now is, who survives the next one?